okay, so NXT Deadline, the last premium live event for the year of 2024, because Saturday night's main event is not a premium live event, even though it's a live event and it's considered premium. So we had 2 Iron Strider matches. This is a match, of course, that has 5 lines of rules to get through. So you've got 25 minutes, 2 guys start every 5 minutes. Another person comes down. If you score a pinfall, you get a point. If you get pinned or submitted, you spend 90 seconds on the box, 25 minutes. Person with the most amount of pinfalls or decisions, I should say, wins it. Beginning with the men's. The story leading up into this is someone attacked Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe had a really difficult time actually qualifying. There's interference in his first match, and then he actually ended up winning the Fatal 4-Way to become the last person to get into it. So he was taken out. It's like, well, who's the 5th guy? Now, what I liked about this match is you had Javon Evans, super athletic. I mean, he's someone who I think Gravity's also forgotten about. Wesley, again, high flyer. Nathan Frazier, currently the fastest man in NXT. He was second fastest, but then Braun moved his way up. So you had just 3 just race horses in this match. And then Ethan Page, who's got to help, slow the match down. And then everyone's down, this guy comes down. Former North American champion, Obafemi. And I was like, ooh, here we go. And Oba got a fantastic double choke slam towards the end. Ended up getting 2 pinfalls towards the very end. He's taking on whoever the winner of Trick Williams and Ridge Holland is. And I was like, either one of those 2 guys will be fantastic against Obafemi. Nice power wrestler. Let's see where we go with this. I'm like, all right, this is a solid opener. It's tough to do a 25-minute match because everyone's like, oh, well, the match isn't going to finish until it's 25. That also means, too, that they have to also make sure they kind of pace it somewhat. It reminds me very much of the early Iron Man matches where there's not that many pinfalls. I really would like to see someone 1 year, because I think the highest so far is 4. Love to see someone just come in, wreck shop, get 4 quick pinfalls, have the whole rest of the have everyone else in the penalty box, and have the guy just kind of preen around the ring, similar to that one Rumble where Punk eliminated people and then got on the mic and cut some promos, something kind of like that. Great way to really hype somebody up. I was like, good opener. Got the crowd into it. Then NXT Underground. So whereas this is the Raw Underground match, where they take the ropes down and everything. I'm like, all right. It makes for a nice change in flow. Lola Vice versus Jada Parker. I like how, when people get really ready to just go, when it's like, we're gonna do a match where there's no pinfalls, it's just submission or knockout. Jada Parker came out, looked solid in this. This, of course, is Lola Vice's match. She's the only other one they've had. I love the aesthetic of it. Yes, we can all thank Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It's functionally what it is, but it allows them to do some really interesting things. I want to say that during the Shayna Baszler Lola Vice one, Lola backfisted the post as well. I think she did. But she was able to fight through it, got the victory. Both of them looked vicious. Like the way this match is, it throws in a nice change of pace. Here's a match that's going to design go 25 minutes. Here's a match where it's just going to be really different, and they're going to beat the piss out of each other, and there's a lot less downtime in the match. I'm like, cool. 2 up, Lola won. All right. Like the callback to the brick from the, NXT 2000. I'm like, all right, this is good. It's really good. The tag match. So Nathan Frazier was in the first match. His nose exploded. So they had Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking on some members of No Quarter Catch Crew. So Miles Bourne and Tavion. Holy cow. Give Tavion a little bit more seasoning. He's got a great look, incredible in the ring, right amount of pop to his moves, has a collegiate background, looks incredibly legitimate, has a lot of personality. I'm like, this guy is gonna be a monster on the main roster. Miles Bourne, he's not clicking with me yet. I think it's probably because you look at the NQCC. Ren Sinclair, who was Maddie, just Maddie in NWA, has really come into her own. Tavion, same thing. They sent him over to Japan for a while, where he did some great work. He's come back, House of Fire. Charlie Dempsey, same thing. Great character work, and everyone knows who his dad is, and they're just not playing to it. I'm like, then there's him, and he's like, he's solid drop kick. He's good in the ring. He's missing that thing that just really makes him stand out from a bunch of other really good athletes. This tag match was incredible. Action Sprint doing it on his own because Nathan Frazier is hurt because he was just in the first Iron Survivor match, so he got the daylights beaten out of him. Whenever he has to go for the tag, he really can't because his taking partner's beaten up. Beautiful storytelling. I will say, when it comes to like hit a finish, kick out, hit a finisher, kick out, I'm fine with his match was farther on. Hit a finisher, either like you don't hook the leg, or it's not like finisher, go for go. Finisher, breathe, then go into the cover. Maybe it's like, the guy kicked out at 2, but had he gotten to the pinfall sooner, those sorts of things. Do a few times here and there, don't overdo it. And just crowd super hot for that match. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Build the crowd up, get the crowd going. Just the right amount of peaks and valleys to it. Frazier and Axiom retained. And a beautiful back and forth match, especially towards the end. And I was, you know what? Crowd was, you can tell, I'm like, man. I'm like, the crowd crescendoed with that. You can tell the crowd was functionally spent. Then we go to the Ridge Holland Trick Williams match. It had heat going into it. And there's some good heat spots to it, but you can tell the crowd was just, the crowd made some noise during the first Iron Survivor match. The crowd made some noise during the NXT Underground. Crowd got really loud in the tag match, and this is like you're almost like come down spot. We get towards the finish. Trick Williams is an amazing athlete. The fact that he was actually able to get his neck caught in the ropes, because with neck damage done from the Redeemer they took on the table at NXT. And I was like, that's impressive. Gets out of it, eats a Redeemer. Rich was on the cover right away, hooks a leg. I'm like, It's like you just had your neck caught in the ropes. You take the guy's finisher, kick out. Had to been like, comes out of the ropes, hits the Redeemer, goes, puts the arm over him, doesn't hook a leg. Then you get your 2.9 kick out. Okay. They did an awkward like double boot spot where they both kind of like pin, kick out, roll over the other guy, pin. I'm like, you tell that some of those moves the crowd didn't respond the way you'd want them to. They didn't pop for it. Then there was trick kick, trick shot, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with how it played out. I think Trick Williams over him is gonna be a fantastic match. And then we go with the women's Iron Survivor match. I'm like, okay, vastly different because you begin with Julia and Ren Sinclair, and a lot of it's mat based. I do have some concerns with Julia because you've got 3 international women all coming at the exact same time, and it's like, I don't want one to get lost in the shuffle. Julia is incredible in the ring, but Zarya they gave a much broader, much more impactful presentation. And she has a character really easy to understand because it's power wrestling. Stephanie Vakir, you look at her entrance. Horns, red and black. And she does, you can tell she plays the crowd more. You can tell she has a lot more of, her manners in the ring are really fantastic. I will say, I love the go for the pin, take the legs, cross them over each other, and go for the pin. I'm like, I love that. It's that small thing of essentially like, oh, hook the legs. No, do this and then hook the legs. Love it. It's super, it's minor, but it's one of those things you kind of go, oh, I like that. It's just a smart move to do. So Ruka comes out, I'm like, all right, here we go. Here's your Javon Evans of this match. Just stupid athletic. She hits this cartwheel dive over the top that's just beautiful. And I was like, man. It's like, she's incredibly athletic. Ren got pinned almost every time in this match. Get towards the end, Ren comes out with like under a minute. You've got 4 of them with 1, and I'm like, oh, because like, what happens if we have a tie? And I was like, that'd be an awesome way to end it with like a 4 or 5-way sudden death. And I'm like, amazing. Ren gets a pinfall. 5 all have 1 apiece. I'm like, this could be awesome. Julia gets like a last minute pinfall. It's like last couple seconds. Fakir goes for a roll up, doesn't get all of it. 1, 2, kick out. I was like, oh. Whole time the crowd was popping whenever they did Julian and a Fakir doing a face off, which they didn't really do anything with. Which I'm like, good. Build up to it. That way, then when they have their match, crowd's gonna be hot for it. And then for a moment, I was like, oh, had we done Julia Fakir at 2 apiece, sudden death, I'm like, it could have been amazing. But I also know why they didn't want to do that. You want to save that match a little later on. Julia got the victory. They did streamers and confetti, which is all super bright green. She looked weird. But hey, Julia got it. Julia's going against Roxanne Perez again. Okay, let's see if she can get the job done this time. Solid event. It is difficult. I mean, we're going at the Rumble, which is the same thing, which came out of War Games. It's difficult to try to be like, okay, we're going to do one as the opener and one as the closer. Because you can't do 2 War Games matches back to back. I'm pretty sure the ring crew would love to do that. You can't do 2 Iron Fire matches back to back because the crowd is just going to be dead. You can't do 2 Rumbles back to back. Oh, that'd be hellacious. Having been to a Rumble in person, it's exhausting just being there. I could imagine trying to be like, all right, here's your hour-long match, followed by an hour-long match. Crowd would be dead. There'd be so little downtime. But nice way to finish 2024. I'm looking forward to seeing Obafemi, because I think it's not a 100% win rate. I think it's a 50% win rate for the winner of the Iron Survivor to go on and become the champion. I'm like, have Julia take it off of Roxanne. Maybe this is when Roxanne makes a jump to the main roster, because, she would be fantastic in the main roster. I think she provides a brand new wrestler for everyone to take on. And she has the right amount of character work. Maybe Cora Jade goes with her as well, or maybe they have Roxanne go up and Cora Jade gets to spend some time in NXT as the elder stateswoman to help kind of get people a little bit farther along. I'm like, have Julia succeed. Femi could either win or could lose. If you were to win, it'd be amazing, since you have this mountain people have to try to overcome. If he loses, hey, wouldn't mind seeing him go through a tear on the mid card again. Just wrecking fools. I don't think Oba's quite ready for the main roster. Trick Williams is close. I think he's close. I think he's got the character work down. His in-ring works well enough for an E style. It's like, they've got enough. They have enough talent in NXT proper to easily bolster Raw and SmackDown with just the right amount of new bodies to really invigorate both those shows.